This class on teenage addictions is the emotions and how they learned to deal with them. I'll let them take it from here because they know what they're talking about.
What was that emotion you guys were killing inside of you that you had to kill it, that felt like you had to go get this hardcore stuff?
It was fear. It was all about fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of everything in life, fear of life in general. I mean, I would wake up and just be like, what am I supposed to do today? You know, I just didn't want to live a life. I didn't want to be alive.
At a very young age, my dad always he would tell me that emotions were our weakness. And so I was always terrified to express emotion or to even want to deal with it or admit that I had any.
I had very low self-worth, and I hated myself.
So it was always just numbing, whatever the feelings or emotions were, numbing them. Whether it was excitement, anger, happiness, insecurity, fear of people judging me, fear of how I looked.
I thought that I was awkward. I thought that I was ugly. I thought that I was just, everything I said or stood for was stupid.
I grew up in a pretty competitive family, and so I was always terrified that I wasn't going to be good enough.
I was just a waste.
And so I always had to fit these different social circles, and it wasn't me. So for that reason, I had to always be high so that I could perform and do whatever I needed to do.
I was teased a lot, you know, within my family and also within school.
What did they tease you about that hurt you so bad?
In 7th grade, there was a rumor that went around about me in public school that I was a lesbian. Oh. And, you know, I mean, at 13 years old, it's like, you know, it hurts. And, you know, but all my friends, really weren't my friends anymore, except this one girl who's still my best friend today. And we would run down the hall, skip down the hallway, holding hands. And, people would just be like, oh my God, she is lesbian.
Were you a lesbian?
No.
No, I mean, I have to ask, but you weren't, but you would just do that for silly and have fun with people.
Yeah, because I was just you know, the school counselor got involved, my parents got involved. It just was a total mess. And, you know, people were just laughing at me and making fun of me and whispering about me. And, you know, I totally had fun with it. I mean, me and my best friend, we would just be all over each other and just to screw with people.
Now, were you drinking at the time? Were you getting high at that time?
Yeah, around that time. I started around that time.
How old are you now?
23.
How long have you been clean and sober?
A year and a half.
I'm 22.
How long have you been clean and sober?
A little over a year.
What's changed now in your life? What's different the way you live your life? I mean, you're not using now, so how are you dealing with those emotions?
Well, that's exactly what I do is I have to deal with those emotions. I have to find other people that I can talk to, that I can share these things that go on in my head, these insecurities, and not knowing how to deal with anger or excitement or too much happiness or too much guilt from what I've done in the past. And so I find other guys who have what I want, and that's being happy, sober, and that's dealing with life on life's terms.
I used to take myself so seriously with everything, every word that would come out of my mouth, every piece of clothing that I would wear, everything was just so serious, and there was no laughing. I mean, I don't, you know, getting high, I don't ever remember having that really hard belly laugh and crying because you're just laughing so hard.
Do you do that now?
Yeah.
About what?
Yeah. Stupid things.
It wasn't until I found a sobriety group with young people where I could have fun and be myself and be goofy.
Well, my name is Spicy.
And where are you from, Spicy?
I'm from southern Georgia.
And?
It's real nice there.
How nice.
It's real nice there.
I wanted to be healthy. I saw other kids that were sober and happy, and I wanted that so bad. Not for my dad, not for anybody else, not for the girlfriend who died or my buddies who died, but I wanted it for me.
Being funny, sober, and laughing at things sober. A lot of people tell me that, ask me if I'm messed up or if I'm drunk, but I'm completely sober. Acting, you know, I don't mean to act like I'm drunk when I'm having so much fun, but it comes out, and it's just really interesting for me to hear from people that I'm acting drunk, but I'm just having such a good time sober.
My group, we do a lot of crazy fun things, right, to have fun. We're sober, so we got to kind of push the boundaries. So we play this game called Cops and Robbers, and we're driving around in the Home Depot parking lot, and we are chasing each other, you know, acting like we're police officers. And before we know it, about 5 police squad cars pull up, and they tell us on the loud mic to stay in our cars. And one of them comes out, and he has an assault rifle pointed at the car. And one at a time, they tell us, you know, passenger in the back, you know, get out of the car with your hands behind your head and walk backwards. And the whole time, this kid next to me is freaking out. He's like, I think I have a warrant out for my arrest. Oh, my God, I'm going to go to jail. I'm on diversion or probation. And I was like, calm down. It's okay. We're not doing anything wrong. We don't have any drugs in the car. It's cool. It's going to be all right.
I do laugh at a lot of things that I did when I was messed up. A lot of things I did when I was messed up because who would do that, you know?
I heard somebody say When you laugh at it, you become superior to it. It doesn't control you anymore.
Exactly. It's kind of like your addiction doesn't like have that control over you, and like you have that control over your addiction. You have the choice to take control over your addiction, and you don't have to cry at all like the stupid things you did. You can laugh at them and you can move on. You can accept it and move on, and then you can laugh at it after you accept it.
I'm so fascinated with the honesty that these people have, and that they're willing to just get it out and want to help others. Because that's what you have to do when you're going through, when you realize you have a problem, when you realize you have an addiction to something, when you realize an addiction is a distraction from an emotion you're feeling that you won't deal with. That's what they talk about here. That's what they just told us about. You have to get to those emotions and how to deal with those emotions. One thing they talked about here, and that is you have to make the choice to do it. And that's exactly what the next class is about, how they made the choice to do it and exactly what got them to that point to make that choice. See you at the next class. Thank you so much for joining us.